Hi everyone, for tonight's Nightcap in review, I'm having an adult beverage, and tonight I'll be discussing Beyond the Veil by Evie Black. Now, I did receive this as an ARC, and she is a dear friend of mine, as well as I am her PA, but I promise I am always going to be honest. Here are the highlights and the content warnings, and my rating for this book is a 4.5, so what's it about? So this book is about Beryl, who has spent years chasing ghosts determined to prove the paranormal is real. Armed with just a handheld camera, she does her best to document haunted locations for her growing YouTube channel. When she finally gets the opportunity to investigate Winlow Manor, one of the most haunted estates in the country, she sees it as her chance to finally get the evidence she needs to prove that ghosts and the paranormal are real. The only issue is she will not be the only one investigating the sites, as the produced network-backed show Ghost Debunkers with its host Derek Garcia will be there as well. As the name of the show says, he is there to do the opposite of Beryl and instead prove that there are no ghosts and that every supernatural encounter someone has is all made up and can be explained away by science. But the moment they enter the house, they can tell something is off. And soon it doesn't matter that Beryl believes or Derek thinks he can explain away, as the house is awake and has plans of its own for all who cross its threshold. As the encounters the crew experience grow, it will soon have Derek wondering if he was wrong all along and have Beryl fearing she is finally in over her head, which means soon the question is not whether or not ghosts exist, but rather will the manor let them leave alive. So what are my thoughts? Again, I'm giving this a 4.5. Now, if I'm honest, I was a little apprehensive to start this, as I've never been really drawn to books that are straight horror. I am very much a romance, romantasy, fantasy reader, and while I do love dark romance, I wasn't sure that was going to translate over to horror books, because you are not guaranteed a happily ever after in a horror book, and I am very much someone who needs a happily ever after. But after reading this, I was surprised by how much I enjoyed it, and it actually makes me very curious for the genre. Now, there were times where I wanted to put this book down for how creepy it was, but I also wanted to keep reading it because I need to find out what happens next. I really enjoyed the pacing of this story. I enjoyed the plot, and I really enjoyed how this was a multi-POV situation, because each person in this house that went in had a different encounter that really upped the creepiness for me, and I just really enjoyed it. Now, when it comes to this book, we have 5 characters and POVs. Now, our main characters are mostly going to be Beryl and Derek, with the supporting characters being Jim, Frank, and Ryan, who are Derek's crew. Now, when it comes to Beryl, I really appreciate how determined she was. As much as I was screaming for her to not go back in the house, I can understand why she did. I mean, she's that close to finally proving everyone wrong, that she's right, that ghosts exist. So I can understand why she would keep entering into a dangerous situation. I can also understand why she was prickly at the start of the book, because you are doing this on your own. You are a woman doing this on your own, entering sometimes dangerous locations, as well as putting yourself out on the internet, which is never going to be kind. And then you are literally confronted with a popular, beautiful host with a network-backed show who is literally there to disprove what you fully believe in and is coughing in your face. I would be prickly and unwelcoming to that person as well. Now, when it comes to Derek, I wanted to also slap him upside the head, because after every encounter, he still refused to believe. When he literally catches it on camera, he's like trying to do the, oh, it's just a gas leak. I'm sorry, a gas leak is not going to affect camera footage. So I wanted to slap him upside the head for his continued refusal to believe in what was literally happening to him. But I appreciate the counterbalance to Beryl, and their infighting just made the tension in this book so good. Overall, I enjoyed the story, though I do think they should have burned the house down after the first night, but the book does make me curious to explore the genre more. Now, this book will be available April 30th. Definitely check it out, and I hope everyone has a good night and happy readings.